what's it called? Have you been then? I heard last night kicked off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of like get your side of the story because I've heard it from Batar.
I mean, my head's all over the place, but I have to keep it on my shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what happened, didn't it? I'm sure you've been told.
Yeah, I would like to hear the build-up on your behalf and just understand what he was saying, because...
I can tell you what happened. Patar was having a conversation with T, and then Patar called me and asked me to pull up. And I pulled up, and it kind of, from the start, was like T listing what he felt like the issues were, and like essentially saying that the group is toxic and like rotted from the inside, and that there's dead wood, he called it, and just, you know, pushing a lot of buttons, but also there was elements of him kind of like slipping up and saying something and then saying he didn't really mean it and then saying he did. Like, for instance, he called Batar deadwood, right? And what the conversation was I said to him that it's all about action with him, right? But he spoke about doing this whole second in command thing, and I genuinely saw that as something that could really benefit the group. And he spoke about it, but never put it into action, right? So he was kind of guilty of the thing he was complaining about, because he dipped out before he did anything about it. It was just a statement he made, and then it never came true.
Yeah. Let me grab these really quick while you do that.
And he was kind of telling me like what he thought would be good for me to do, and I think kind of trying to push my buttons to see if I stood my ground and like acted as a leader would. But there was moments where he was just disrespectful. Like, we was talking about the whole second in command thing, and I basically said that I personally believe that as second in command, Patar was not it. That was not his role. He was not made for that role, and he would agree with that. But as a gang member, Patar is one of the most valued gang members you could have, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But T said, you know, one of his things he said was, well, what you should do is start by removing the dead weight, because that's the issue. And I was like, okay, so who's the dead wood? And he said, well, an easy start is the people who dropped their chains when I said I was leaving. So I said to him, I said, so in your eyes, Patar is dead wood in this gang? And originally he was like, nah, like, that's not what I'm saying. But then I kept kind of pulling him back to it and being like, well, that's what you said. And then he kind of switched up and was like,
Mosley.
No, he was implying both. But he switched up and then said, no, yeah, actually I do. And like doubled down and said, I do think Patar is dead weight. And obviously Patar sat there standing next to me, and he wasn't happy about that. And that to me, like, to make a statement on Patar's role as second in command, I think is justified. But to talk down on him as a gang member, I feel like it's just,
especially when you've given up and walked away.
It's just not true. And he went through stepping down from a role and getting removed from a role and took it on the chin and didn't let that affect him. It didn't, you know, he didn't get a bruised ego. He just continued doing him in the gang and helping and being helpful and a good asset, right? So that was already a bit like he then was saying about how the gang is relying on his money. I'm gonna just answer this as Tony and tell him I'll be 5 minutes. Yo, Tony, I'm just having a quick meeting right now. I'll call you back in like 5-10.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say as well, I'm gonna be around in like 30 minutes, right?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be around.
Well, not like, you know, you don't have to meet me in 30 minutes. I'm just wondering if
I'll be around for hours. I'll be here.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
I also want to say I'm sorry for your loss, brother.
Yeah, it's a rough times, but I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, no worries, pal. Well, listen, I got something special for you today. Hopefully cheers you up a bit, all right?
I appreciate that, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, bro. I'll see you later, all right?
Speak soon.
All right. Hey.
Yeah, he started talking about the finances and the use of gold rush and that making people complacent and lazy and stuff like that. And I agree with him. I said, I do think that is like, you know, there was some reliance, but I don't think every issue with the gang can come down to that. And he started, the thing I didn't like the most, one of the things, like, he started waving around what he could do if he wanted to fuck us over. And at this point, the tone of the conversation wasn't like it was still at a point where he had no reason to be making threats, right? And I wouldn't say it was a threat. It was more like, well, I own the block. I could kick you off the block. Like, I could, like, you know, I could ask for the 20 million back that I gave to the gang. And had I pushed him too far at that point, maybe that's fair, but with the with how the conversation was,
what were you saying to push him?
all I was doing was saying to him is what we're talking about right now is the same conversations that we've had for 2 years. That is why we've been just dwindling and stagnant, and I don't want to have these conversations anymore. I just want to do movement.
Yeah.
And he was just pointing stuff out and like just navigating like a leader still, I guess. So then he brought up the whole things of like what he could do and stuff like that. And at that point I was like, well, that's just fucked. And I said to him, I'd already thought about this. Like, I was more than aware that there is a potential that he could go that way, and that could be the route he chooses. And he admitted that he'd been out of the gang for months, and that his heart hadn't been in it for months and months, and he'd been thinking about doing what he's done for months. And I can't say that didn't hurt me, knowing that he felt that way and not voiced it.
I feel like it was obvious.
Yeah, it was obvious if you knew him, but if he really wanted to be around and he felt that way, he would communicate. Like,
so the reason you actually shot him was because he dropped the chain, or because the lead up to it? Because I was under the assumption of we agreed that morning we weren't going to shoot him, because I don't really, I'm gonna be honest, I don't agree with this whole blood in, blood out thing at all. I think it's very much like a Southside way of doing things, and it's not. But
he didn't get blooded out.
It was a Nobles type.
There's multiple reasons why I shot him, right? It's not a blood out. It was never a blood out. It was a Nobles of sticking to my word in a way. Like, I had told him at the mansion when he originally wanted to leave. I said, you drop that chain, I will have to shoot you. I said that. And there's an element to me, and maybe that's me trying to make myself feel better about what I did, but there's an element to me that feels like what he was doing was testing if I was a man of my word, and seeing like if I could stick to the action that I was saying I will.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest, Patai didn't give me any of this context. Like, I really don't like this whole blood in, blood out thing. I think if people want to walk away, they should be able to walk away. And I know you sort of said the other day, like, yeah, otherwise, but I don't know. I don't really agree with that, but
I'm gonna be real with you. The only reason I see you having concerns about blood in and blood out is if you feel like there's a time where you could walk away.
I don't think it's to do with me at all. I feel like with T, Like, whenever someone wanted to walk away from the gang or even got forced out the gang, they were never shot. Dean was never shot. The only time he got shot was when he refused to give a vest. Like, I was there. He stood in front of T and said, I ain't giving you my vest. And that's why he got shot. With Wayne, he never got shot, even when he was getting booted for being with that cop. It was never like that.
Big
like,
man.
We've never operated like that.
I'm not T.
Yeah.
That's
I hear that.
a hard pill to swallow, but I'm not T.
I just don't want us to operate like other people because we feel like we have to.
We're not.
It's
We're not gonna operate like
there's
no
been
one.
examples given out about the Vargos, and it's a very Southside thing to do. I feel like we're closer than that.
No, it's not even about that. Knowing that you can just step from the gang, right, and just walk and be calm, brings no concern or doubt when you think about that. If you can sit here and think, well, if I wanted to leave the gang, I can leave the gang scot-free and I'll be blessed. It's going to be way easier to walk out the door.
I feel like to get to that point, though, I'd already been pushed to the point where I don't care about anything. And that's me speaking personally. I feel like if I got to a point where I'd leave the gang, it's crumbled to the point where I feel like I have nothing left. Breaking point, bro.
Yeah, no, and I hear you, and that's why, like,
I don't know. I feel like it doesn't sit right with me how we all get given the option to walk away, and it feels like he didn't. Obviously, I wasn't at the meeting, and I've had your context, but
there's a reason why I gave everyone an opportunity to walk scot-free. It's because that's the last time before it was done my way. That was me giving, and I've said this to everyone who's asked me the same question, right? I understand that's not how shit was before. I completely understand that. So by doing that, that was me saying this is the last time before I make it clear that it won't be like that no more. And everyone stayed.
Yeah.
And T didn't get the same thing. It was less about that for T. The shooting of T was less about him walking and more about the position he put me in front of Patar as well. If the first thing I do as a leader is stand in front of all of you and say that if he walks away, I'm going to shoot him, and then he walks away and I do nothing, my word is already devalued. A3.
Yeah, agreed. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, because I knew there would have been context missed that Patar didn't bring up.
Believe me, bro. Me as a person did not want to do that.
So where do you
But
stand
me
with all
as
the other stuff?
a leader, I had to do that.
Where do you stand with all the other stuff? Because I'll give you my complete outlook on how I see this whole T stuff. Like, I feel like the first day we all acted emotionally. We shouldn't have pleaded for him to stay. Like, that was a very, you know, we were all emotional because of the cruiser stuff in the first place. But I don't think T had, prior to last night, bad intentions. I genuinely think it was
Nick, David is 17 months.
This the night he tried to walk from us and he said he'd stay for a week. I said this to Steve and James. There's a lot of truth in what he says, bro. There's a lot of truth.
The difference is the tone and the way he speaks about the group. He was trying to tell us he was wanting the best for us. And I don't fully not believe him, right? Like, there is a big part of me that thinks he does want the best for us, and he did want the best for us. But the way he spoke in that meeting was not someone that truly cared about the people he was in a group with. Bro,
he's
the guy
saying it
woke
in a
up
way.
on Tommy Cruise's last day on planet Earth and didn't say a word to him. That spoke so loud to me, bro. Like, you can say you're doing shit for the better of the gang, but if you don't have it in you to go and even say yo to someone you've known for long, then how am I supposed to believe that you're doing shit with good intentions?
He wants their gang to get to the top, not the people in the gang to get to the top. If that makes sense. He don't care about how brutal we need to be.
Yeah, he just wants the name to be high, yeah.
He wants the name to succeed.
Appreciate you, Abs, for the 2 months.
I said this to Patar this morning from what he told me. Like, it is brutal, but he's not wrong. Like, I wouldn't ever want to boot none of these boys, but he's not wrong about this whole Deadwood situation, bro. There's a lot of people in the gang that don't actually strive for the gang to be better. I said this, I'll repeat it again. Steve has came in and stood out like proper. We can all agree that. But he ain't that special. Like, he really isn't. He's just motivated, and that's what we don't have. Like, we genuinely don't have motivated people, and I don't think we have for a long time. Roadman, when we came in, Sparky, I think me and you can both agree we ain't that special either. Like, but we stood out because we were motivated in a time when people weren't.
I think what I gotta make clear to you is, and I haven't voiced, is like, I know this, but with me becoming leader, I'm very much going for a fresh start. So these things are true, right? Prior to my leadership. But I'm going to be operating on a, like, from me becoming leader onwards perspective. So if the Deadwood shows itself to me, now that I'm leader, then it will be dealt with.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to come in as leader and not give them an opportunity to switch up because of the switch up, you know? I'm going to see what they do, and if it doesn't change and they show it to me as the leader, then I will do shit about it. And I don't say that lightly, like, I will do shit about it.
I feel like it needs to, like, I feel like instead of waiting, it should be said to the group, I want people to actually be actively doing stuff. Instead of waiting for people to not do anything, like, they won't. And then it just carries, but like, then you have to have that conversation, you know? If we tell everyone now everyone needs to step up. Like, I don't want to start calling out names because actually, nah, I will call out names.
No, but the thing is, if you want the gang to do well and you want people to not get cut out, if there's people in your head that you see getting cut out, tell them to step up. That's something I want you to do. That's something I want the group to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be coming to me until it needs to actually be dealt with.
Yeah.
If you've got concerns about people, tell them, bro.
Like, for example, I feel like
Anonymous Gifter, thank you for the gifted.
And she has the right mindset, but sometimes she's too shy to, like, be like to me, oh, could you go around and show me the rack strat so when we're in chases I know what to do, you know? And like, just little things like that. I just feel like people aren't motivated and haven't strived for bigger things in a long time.
Well, then that can be your thing of stepping up. Tell people that, because if you want to see them around, then voice that. Because the last thing you want is for them to not change and you think, oh, if I would have had a conversation with them, would they have switched up? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I might take Saint on board and try and push her because she has the interest to learn things, but like, she won't put herself forward to do it.
She's shy, isn't it? I get it. I 100% get it. That goes for all the people you think in your head, and like, I want that for everyone. We should all be elevating each other. It's not just about like me dealing with the people who aren't pulling their weight. We as a group should want everyone to be pulling their weight. The only time I should happen to be dealing with the people who are pulling their weight is when they can't be helped.
Yeah. Yeah, no, agreed. I'm with you on that.
And I had like, when this happened, like when this whole switch up happened, I was doubtful on the road that Moses would take. but he seems to be open to change. And I'm hoping it stays that way, but we'll see. And like I'd say that's probably one of the people in your head, right? That you're concerned for.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you wanna have that and you wanna push that, do it.
Yeah, we just need to. Like it is so brutal, but how the times are, people have to be useful, or we just have to move on. Like the times are eat or be eaten.
Yeah, 100%.
And we very much dealt with that recently.
Yup.
Like it ain't how it used to. And I know T's been like, T's gonna be going against us and how he was yesterday. But how he's viewing things is more now than any of us are viewing it. I feel like we all seeing, like, we're all in the past with how we operate.
That's been my main thing, bro. I don't care for the past. It's literally like the way I see this. This is literally a fresh start. Like this is a new gang. Still the Mandem, but it's full on reset. Just make sure when you do go out of your way to chat to people, you go about it the right way.
Yeah, no, that's easy.
And I understand if you don't agree with what I did to T, and I don't expect like the whole gang to have done the same. But ultimately, I did it. And I said this to everyone else who was around, don't make me have done that for no reason. Let's move forward.
At the end of the day, bro,
and let's fucking become something great so that there was good reason for it.
Like, I appreciate me being able to go to you, and this is why, like, I've known you for a minute. I like it how I can go to you, be like, I completely disagree with why you've done that, and you can hear that, and you understand that I know you're in charge, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I had this same conversation with Patar a few months ago, it becomes a defensive thing straight away.
I can't sit there and spend the last 2 years pulling T up on the things he's done wrong and then not hear it out when people have concerns.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not always like, just to be brutally honest, like I'm not always gonna like do what you might believe is your like your choice, but I will always hear you out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I wasn't there. I didn't hear the tone, and I didn't have a lot of context. It sounds like he forced your hand, or like tested you a little bit. I don't know. I do think he has good intentions, though. Like he's been messaging. I should fill you in as well. He was messaging me today. He messaged me. He messaged me. I only wanted the best. Let me turn the radio off. He said, I only want the best. I said, what do you mean? What happened? He said, don't act stupid. And I said, I was on a golfing date with Tatty last night. Did something kick off? Like I was playing stupid. I got told like 10 minutes before this. He put, ask your gang, not me. And then like 5 minutes later, he said, but I know you know. So what I did is I said, I'll go chat to them and then get back to you. So at that point, I linked Patar, and apparently he texted Patar and he was watching us, and he knew I was with Patar at that point. So like, potentially he believes that story. I don't really know.
You need to be warned as well, right? This is going to be guerrilla warfare. Like what unfolds now from his side is going to be petty, and there's going to be lots of attempts to get hold of members and to stir, because he truly believes he still has a hold over anyone he wants in the group, I would say, or like at least individuals.
I'm gonna make him feel like he has me, and I've already been doing that. I decided that this morning, and I said that to the boys. I'm gonna make him feel like he has me still, so I can sort of see how he's moving. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna play into that. I'm gonna be saying points that go against what the gang believes in and what you believe in, just so he thinks I'm on his side.
I hear that. That's a good chess move. It's gonna be complex with him. It's not gonna be simple. Like, it's never just gonna be like a one move thing. He's gonna try and pry. He's gonna try and get information. He'll be trying to do shit, but we just gotta group up.
Yeah, but just know now, if he comes back to you and says, Matt said this, Matt said that, I'm playing into his narratives. Because I feel like us having someone like where he feels like he has control of. Because if you look at Mandem, I'm one of the people that goes against the grain a lot. And
yeah,
I feel like,
and not to discredit what he said to you, but that's probably part of the reason why he's going for that angle. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries reaching out to Ved because he thinks he can get through to Ved. Like, it's one of those. Ultimately, I'm gonna trust what you tell me, innit?
well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be telling you this if that was the case.
Just keep me updated to what he says to you and shit.
Yeah, he's been watching us. Like, he was watching us in the car park, and then I messaged him, what are you trying to do, and he ignored it. He also said, I'm trying to think.
What's your feelings then? Because you obviously voiced early in the convo that you kind of saw T's side with everything.
I do see T's side, but
you're still, you know, you're playing into it, and you're willing to. You're not trusting him, essentially. It's like you're trusting him with what you said about what he said, but you're not trusting him with the tech stuff. So, like, where does your head truly lie with it? And be honest with me.
I think his intentions are with the gang, or was with the gang. And, like, when he was leaving the gang, he genuinely did want to push us to new things and for us to be better. I do agree with him. We have Deadwood in the gang, but how we go about that is how we go about that. I don't really agree with why he got shot. Like, to be fair, most of my points are on his side, but at the end of the day, bro, he's not in my gang, so I'm not going to back him full stop. But I know now, after he's been shot and we've robbed money from him, he's going to be going against us. So me playing into my opinions where they sound genuine and can come across genuine, it's like I can try and find out what he's doing and how he's moving, bro. You know?
Okay.
Like, if I trust and not trust, that's the wrong wording. If I stand by most of his opinions, I can agree with him and make him feel like he has me under his thumb without it being weird, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say. And like I said, I'm not going to sit here and make you agree with what I did. Because ultimately, I don't care if you agree or disagree. As long as you can listen and move forward. It's happened. You don't need to align opinion with me as long as we all roll with it anyway. It's the same ethic of rolling in a 6 and one person making the call. You might not agree with the call, but you listen. Because you respect them, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for pulling me and being honest, and don't ever stop doing that. And that's what I want people to feel like they can do that.
But yeah, I feel like I've got it off my chest, bro, and that's what matters.
Go on.
Your shit's in the glove box, by the way.
Cheers.